Hello YouTube, this is Stephen Talbert. Today I want to talk about Gamestop getting back into the retro business, the retro gaming business that is. It's been stated in the last couple of days, past couple of weeks, that GameStop is considering buying old game systems. They're considering doing this program of buying old Nintendos, NESs, Super Nintendos, Genesis, N64s, pretty much any game system that's really old. That's just not getting sold nowadays. I think they've noticed there's been a couple of weeks back they said we're going to buy PS2s now, and I think there's been a pretty good demand for those PS2s, and so I think Nintendo GameStop is finding maybe this new avenue of buying old game systems. Back in my day, like I remember when GameStop was real young, when there was still FuncoLand and EA games. I was a big fan of FuncoLand back in the day, where they used to have like a bin of old games. Like it was like Super Nintendo games. You could buy pretty much anything from like FuncoLand. But then they got bought out by GameStop. And GameStop, for the past year, pretty much decade, has been known for being pretty much just up to date with everything. Just anything new, you can buy it through GameStop. If it's out of, if it's not a couple systems old, they don't sell it anymore. And sooner or later, like they'll probably won't sell 360 stuff and PS3s to go with this current generation. And so we've seen GameStop kind of through the years not sell old games. And that's actually kind of what really broke my heart when FuncoLand went out of business, was they weren't selling old games. Because I'm a really active, just enthusiast of old games. I own many game systems. I stretch back to like a Atari 2600. I own a Master System. I own some pretty like rare systems, Dreamcast, Super Nintendo, you name it, I own it, and I probably played it. And so this just turns out to be a really interesting surprise, is that they're truly getting back into this. What could this mean? There's been, with the rise of the PS4 and the Xbox One, this also could be a really signaling of a different age. GameStop could be really out of date when a lot of people just buy games straight through the internet, through PlayStation Store, and the Xbox Store as well. And so there's been really a push, for GameStop, what to do next. I've heard they could just go straight iPhone, to become the iPhone stop or something like that. Or I think the best thing for them is to go more into old school gaming, because there's a lot of mom and pop stores that do old school gaming and are surviving. I know this one chain called Game Over Games that was started in Austin took off, and then since then has made several stores in Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio, and actually has gone up to as far as Seattle. Has made one, and so I think there's definitely a healthy industry of old school gaming, and definitely a market share to be done. And so I think it's a really good idea for GameStop if they want to survive in coming. My best idea though is, why not start selling these Retron 5s or these game systems that truly aren't Nintendo or any of these third-party things that kind of play the old school games. Why not sell these Retron 5s? Or, you see them at like these different, I've seen them at Target, where you can pick up, it'll play 30 games, then also will play Super Genesis games. So there's been a revival of those systems. I really do think that's probably the better idea than buying these old game systems that probably they're going to pay way less than the market value of these old game systems, because they have no idea what they're worth. And do you trust GameStop to pay you good money for them? No. And so kind of I think it will be interesting to see the evolvement of GameStop over time and see where they're going with this new, with this new chapter in their lives. And of course, in the next couple of years, they will have to evolve to fit the current thing. Thank you for listening to me on my opinion about this. Like my video if you like it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Look forward to talking to you more about just different real cool topics. All right, thank you.